All right. Hi, everyone. Sorry about that. It's just very unfortunate that there's like technical difficulties right now with the UDP protocol at YouTube because there's individuals that get online and they start tampering with the header for my specific subnet because of the content that's coming out, right? So remember, these individuals got caught harassing the entire Black and Brown community, having sex in their family, destabilizing the pharmacy industry, the chemical industry, and the agriculture industry to find special herbs that will have magical healing powers. They got caught with broken coding systems and how those systems were actually ran from space. Some of you guys are wondering, like, how did they like even originate all this stuff? They learned a lot from being around indigenous people about metals, coppers, things like that, chemistry, all that good stuff. It evolved into another thing, making the computer because they started to see that they can work with circuitry, electricity, and like three old like systems that they were playing like in it has something to do with like certain parts of Middle East, Africa, old societies and systems, and like, oh, well, we can make this computer, right? And then again, the floating point technology that they were all using, and how the other part that's going to end up coming out too, when you guys start to code, it's you have to start coding, and then you're going to see it how they were getting messages from space to do A, B, C, and D, and type this in and type that in, and how the entire internet and even the electrical grid and what we call PG&E and all that is about to become obsolete because you're going to be able to move to a different system, right? So now what's coming out here is I was talking about a video that I did right before I was cut off, and that's how you guys know that this is them doing it because it was about the fact that I made a video. It's called "Encrypting Your Brainwaves," and it was about people that were getting uploaded to the virtual reality technology. The next day, on video in front of everybody, I recorded this. I picked up this card, the Page of Swords. Now, for those of you guys that understand tarot as an organization system, the Page of Swords means somebody that's spying. If I were to take this in like scanning you and your brainwaves capacity, it means that the Page of Swords, it means that you're contemplating something or you're looking into something or you're watching something, right? So now, if I were to use like the Page of Cups, that means that like there's something with love messages in between. It can also be two illicit messages towards somebody that's like underage. Page of Cups, right? Wherein uh, it shows that there's like an immaturity in your romantic affiliations and associations. And then we also have like the Page of Wands. That would be messages about quick action happening, like, oh, a raid is coming, like, hey, I got fired. Page of Wands, interesting messages, right? Or text messages. So now when we come into the system of tarot, is another thing that's coming up too. It's not just for like finding out about people's business. I wrote a book on tarot for health. I wrote a book on tarot for law, right? So even when you're talking about certain court cases, right, and I'm pulling out the tarot, certain cards mean certain things. Five of Swords means that the prosecution is going to continue. They're not going to rest. They're going to want you to plead to the charges that they're setting forth for you. The Five of Swords, right? Prosecution, right? The magician in court would be somebody that potentially comes in as like an expert witness, somebody that comes in to give like expert testimony, things like that. It could be even like somebody that translates braille, things like that, right? So these are certain things. High priestess, like in court settings, is like, oh, this can be somebody that they're working the case and they have facts on the matter from previous cases, or they know how to really work with the facts of the matter that you have at hand, right? Right. So then I wrote a book on tarot for health. When you see the Queen of Pentacles and you're inquiring about your health, this means that you have a healthy diet. You do consume meats, but for the most part, you try to keep it organic. The Queen of Swords, right? If I'm about health, this would be like something with your nervous system. Okay, you could have an MRI coming within the next 6 months, right? So if I were to look into the Six of Swords when it comes into tarot, that's like there's a specific biochemical pathway here that is not carrying like a full amino sequence or it's terminating early, right? So this can maybe be something where urea, there's a backup or buildup of urea in the liver because the ketosis process is not fully moving itself forward, right? And then that's getting other chemical pathways to be incomplete. Six of Swords. I'm moving from one place to another, right? So remember, and even in order to even have that type of insight, I have to have a certain type of anatomy that would allow me to see deeper. And that's how I created these classification systems, and that's how people got caught, right? So if I'm in the Eight of Wands, that means that, oh, my ATP, I have ATP and oxidative phosphorylation and the Krebs cycle and citric acid cycle, they're working in unison. So if I'm faltering on one, that means another one's going to kick in. That means I have primal, optimal nutrition, right? So it's different things. Now, when it comes for code, Eight of Wands means that I'm going to be able to connect to this specific port, and any message that I want to get through or any data that I want to pull forth from that database or server, I'll be able to do Eight of Swords. Right? So nine of Wands is like a DNS server. We're going through a DDoS attack. Just, put the encryption factors there. There's a file within a file that will parse out like millions upon millions and millions of times and run specific loops, Boolean loops, right? Which is what we can do, but we don't need as many files because we have a tensor space that the minute I project this into your computer or onto your server, I've already damaged your copper system, right? Right. And this is how you'll be able to have total oversight on the entire internet, move things around, go into this database, that database. Nine of Wands is like DDoS, right? So sorry about the last video. I'm going to put both of these videos together and it's going to get like re-uploaded for those of you guys that are watching. Okay, because it's going to be in just one video because I know you guys want to share this with people. So just wait for me to do that. So anyways, you guys, right? So I have several of these cards on several occasions, right? So there was one occasion where we did a coding tutorial and then the next day we got all of these cards and these are all the cards that we coded into the computer. So Ten of Cups, mass groups, trafficking groups, pedophile groups will get caught. King of Cups, this is not one of the ones. King of Swords is an investigator, but the investigator will step in and see this. King of Pentacles, who's paying for it, will come out, right? Five of Swords, that they're going to have harsh opposition in the court. That's like, you're not making bail, right? Five of Swords is like, your enemy, well, I have to drop the charges and you have to get charged. Five of Swords. Yeah, Six of Swords is something with travel coming out and getting tracked. Yeah, and Six of Wands is it getting publicized in the news because we said we wanted to see what we're coding, right? So this is like, we've shown that it works. We've shown that it works. We've shown that it works. That's done. Now we need to just go ahead and start coding our system down, right? So there was a day that we were out walking out and about, and I have this on video, and somebody walked past and they had the Ace of Swords on their shirt. Right. And then we get closer down the street and we're talking about this. And I got the Eight of Swords card that I picked up from the floor. Right? So now we're basically seeing like, okay, it works. We were talking about people playing with spoof apps and spoof messages and how to identify that FQN, fully qualified domain name, because that kept on popping up with the license plates and it exposed something with the feds making fake emails and things like that after they get fired to harass people. So with the Page of Wands then popped up as I was talking about it in the video. So right. That's the great thing about this. You can't deny that it works. And this is why a bunch of people are getting arrested and why I'm not putting any work out until major people in the Black and brown developer community come and see this. So they can at least see, okay, so now I see what's with all these like conferences and these showcases and all this stuff. You guys were playing on a Black woman's computer and you thought you were going to bamboozle us and you need my help. So you thought, and then you would kidnap me or put me in a clinical trial, which is what they were planning, playing with a bunch of Black and brown people. That's what they were doing. So anyways, you guys, I feel like the thing here is like, how do we start coding? Let's get in the lab. Like, let's start working. The biggest thing first is new IDE, so everyone can start with their projects. The other thing is a new browser, so you can surf securely. After that, it's the GPT table and the master boot rec so that you can flash your entire computer, move it to a completely different operating system, and not even have to worry about putting this in your kernel, that in your kernel, saving this file, uploading this ASM, running this on your desktop, none of that. And then also blocking virtualization, right? Where you download something or you get on the internet, they attach a virtual machine to your computer. Next thing you know, your computer is being used to generate tokens and crypto, whatever, for these white supremacists that are playing community. So, The next thing that I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm just gonna keep up with our coding tutorials, right? So that's thank you, right? And then I'm gonna post some of the things that have been happening in different communities. So you guys are gonna see just like a bunch of videos on my timeline, and then this, and it's like what happened in Ethiopia, what happened in India, what happened in Asia, what happened in UK because of the virtual reality technology, and then this coding coming out and what they got caught with. So I feel like that's like the best thing. I feel like we can move forward from there. And now we know what's been going on in tech and what's been happening. You're going to be seeing in your community, right? There's going to be another video that I make specific for the hood about what happened with that virtual reality technology and people trying to build cases. So it's different people that are going to come to this channel and they're going to find out, right? So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helps.